I'm Bill Mould, and this video is about bicycle pumps and how to use a pump to inflate your tire. This kind of pump here is a floor pump, and this is intended to be used at home before you go for a ride. And this is a portable pump that you can take with you, and this is best used for emergency repair if during a ride you have a flat tire and you have to replace the tube and then re-inflate the tire. There are two different kinds of valve stems that you'll see. This is called a schrader valve, and if I remove the dust cap, then I see the part of the schrader valve stem onto which the pump is installed. I attach the head of the pump to the valve stem like this. Just push it on down, and then by lifting this lever here, I lock the head in position. This is a presta valve, and it also has a little dust cover, and before I can inflate the presta valve I have to open this little valve here at the top like this by unscrewing it. With my presta valve, after once again making sure that this little nut here is screwed out, I also in the same way just push the pump down on the valve stem and then lift the lever to lock the head in place, and now I'm ready to inflate the tire. Here we see the manufacturer's recommended pressure range of 100 to 110 pounds per square inch. So I keep pumping up my tire until I get to 100 pounds per square inch. Immediately after you remove the head from the valve stem, you may hear a split-second rushing sound of air, but that's just air coming out of the hose of the pump. It's not coming out of the tire. Supposing you're trying to pump up your tire with this presta valve here, and you put the pump on, and when you start depressing the pump, you see that the pressure gauge needle immediately spikes, and it's apparent that no air is actually going inside the tube. That will happen if this valve is closed. That's why we always want to make sure that we open up the valve like that. However, there's another kind of a situation where I can see that same symptom even when I have unscrewed the valve nut like I've shown you. Sometimes with an older tube or a bike that's been sitting around a while, you'll open the valve and put the pump on, and you still see the pressure gauge spike as soon as you start the pump, and it's apparent that no air is actually going inside the tire. And that can happen because sometimes this little valve will get stuck. Even when it's open, air won't go in. So what you can do is just like that, give it that little tap like that, and if the air is going out, then it also can go back in. Here's a very nice specialized floor pump. Note the nice stable triangular base and the very large readable gauge. Any good floor pump these days is going to come with what you could call a smart head, in that the head of the pump here, this goes on either valve the same way, and the pump knows the difference. You just put this on and then raise the lever as I showed you to lock it in position, so you don't have to make any changes to the pump to go from one type of valve to another. As I mentioned, a portable pump is intended to be used in an emergency situation. You don't want to use this as your primary pump for a couple of reasons. For one, if you have a road bike and you want high pressure, you won't get it very easily out of this pump because you don't have very much mechanical advantage or leverage. The other disadvantage of this pump is if you're trying to pump up a mountain bike tire, those have much lower pressure but a much larger capacity, and they need a lot of volume of air, and you'll be pumping for a long time with this little portable pump. So consider this one to take with you for emergency repair, but not to be used at home. At home you want to use a floor pump. Now these two really nice specialized high quality floor pumps look the same, except if you look closely you see that the red one here has a little bit larger diameter barrel than the yellow one here. The red one can deliver more air faster, so if all you're going to use is a floor pump for mountain bikes, this is probably a good one. This one here, because it will more easily deliver high pressure, is better for a road bike. If you have a road bike and a mountain bike and you only want to buy one pump, buy the yellow one. There used to be a kind of a pump called a frame pump that would fit inside the bicycle frame, but those have declined in popularity. Another way you can pump up a tire in an emergency is to use a CO2 kit, and I'll discuss that with you in another video. It's worth the money to get a good quality floor pump because you'll appreciate that really good quality pump every time you use it, and it will last you for many years. If you need any help with any of this, come see any of our people in any of our spoke stores and we'll help you.